wrong. I don't know. Is it the bottom one? Okay, I guess it is. Same day, unspecified time, the prosecutor's office. So this is Prosecutor Sogi's office, huh? Pretty sure this is still Von Zieg's room, but okay. Kazuma-sama. They've really given him a luxurious office, haven't they? He's being made to sit Setsa style in a little corner of Lord Van Zieg's office. Kazuma-sama always sits Setsa style when he's working. How do you do it, Asogi? That position is painful. I've done it. It's not fun. Asogi. Hey, buddy, what's up? I figured you'd be stopping by sooner or later. Naruhodo. Looks like it's just like I said. Huh? You were always meant to be a defense attorney. I believe too, you know, that you'd stand in British court someday. But I never dreamed that it would be behind the prosecutor's bench. Believe me, I don't think any of us saw that coming at all. At least until stuff came up later on. Your dream came true. Seeing your gallant figure in this foreign Supreme Court is so moving. I'm so happy for you. Oh! I'd like to thank you from the depths of my heart, Legal Aid Mikotoba. Oh! Oh, you guys! All three of them are adorable! Naruhodo. I had a feeling that... What is this? Wait. Hold on. This sentence is weird. Also, I have interruptions in the background. Please wait warmly. Of course the interruptions happen when I get to the best parts. Hold on, I'll be right back. Can I keep reading without being interrupted? Find out in the next 30 minutes, I guess. Okay, how do I read this properly? I had a feeling that causing a stir with you in the English courts would be thrilling. Though, it ended up happening a little differently than I anticipated. Maybe this is another one of fate's little pranks. I've learned a lot since coming to England. England? Oh my goodness. About this city where Susato-san's father and the others once visited. And about your father's case, which occurred here. In that case, you must understand why I had to become an exchange student in this country at any cost. I'm here to hear what you have to say, Asogi. That's just what I was hoping, Naruhodo Ryunosuke. Please, these two! What the? I can't. This is too much. OTP. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the way the Japanese, when they write, it's... The way the Japanese language is written is just... It's really hard for me to even describe it. It's kind of poetic, in a sense. So it kind of comes off romanticized a little bit when translated, I guess. And I don't know if Wright and Edgeworth was written the way Asogi and Naruhodo are written in this game, because Jesus Christ, these two. Well, he says Aibo and he also says Kisama. He calls him his Kisama, which is not the derogative version of Kisama. It's actually the buddy version of it. And I'm just like, excuse me? Your disappearance last year. It's already been a year since that incident on the RFS Alacre. Oh no, let's have this flashback again. In a first-class cabin of a steamship headed from Japan to the Great British Empire. A series of unfortunate coincidences came together and caused that tragedy. I truly thought at that time that I lost my best friend. When I awoke from my sleep, I was lying in a bed. It was a narrow room, and my pillow had been decorated with a wreath of flowers. It took me a little while to realize that that was a ship cabin. I snuck quietly out of that room and headed for the deck. Had you already lost your memories at that point? Yes, but the whole time, I heard this voice in my head. I have a mission to complete. No one must know of it. Go to the Great British Empire. Your mission awaits you there. I couldn't disobey it. It was a very forceful voice. When I got up on deck, I realized that the massive steamship had made port somewhere. That must have been Hong Kong. That must have been right before they came to get your body. I didn't know what was going on, but somehow, I was keenly aware that that was my last chance. Then, I slipped in among the other passengers and disembarked. I concealed myself in that unknown country's unknown port town, in order to get myself to the Great British Empire. Sogi, you are so extra. Was something changed? Yes. Your journey to England. Last year, I was left behind in Hong Kong with no memories. The unfamiliar sense of that foreign port left my head spinning, and I was utterly helpless. I'd made my escape as little more than a corpse, so I had nothing on me, including money. Poor thing. However, fortunately, I had two powerful weapons at my disposal. Was one of those English? Exactly. Thanks to that, I was able to secure a job as a crew member on the merchant ship. And I journeyed through countless ports, and finally arrived at Dover Harbor. That was about 3 months ago. Sounds like you're scarily determined, as always. He lost everything, including his memories, and yet he managed to make it here to London all by himself. That's really scary. That determination, holy crap. Also, God, do you need a hug? Well, at that point, I still had no idea what I was coming to do. So then, why did you end up becoming Lord Van Zeek's apprentice? All I can say about that is that it was a curious twist of fate. I was apprehended by the immigration office as an illegal alien. and escorted to Scotland Yard. That's when, thanks to a coincidental meeting he had there, I met Lord Vortex. That's where my second powerful weapon came into play. Could that have been your knowledge of the law? Yes, it was. Lord Vortex's curiosity was piqued by this Oriental who knew so much about English law. He brought me to the prosecutor's office and gave me a place in this office. Then, 9 days ago, you regained your memories in that trial. That's right. Your dad, Genshin. Oh my god, these topics are depressing. Why? Back at Yuma University, when we first met, I remember you saying this. I have to get over to the Great British Empire by being selected as a legal program exchange student. Did you know? About your father's incident, I mean? 16 years ago. No! Oh no! Oh my heart! Oh, they showed this picture! Oh no! Oh my heart! Oh! Oh, this game keeps hurting me. I can't take this. One second. Okay. At the time, when my father left for England, I was still very young. A photo was taken on the day of his departure. That's the last memory I have of him. Even so, I clearly recall my father's unwavering sense of justice. 6 years later, a gentleman came to my house. He came to tell us that my dad, Genshin, had died of an illness in London. That gentleman was your father, Professor Mikotoba. After that, Professor Mikotoba took me in. He also helped pay for my education at Yuma University. I owe him my life. However, I wasn't able to fully believe what he told me. Huh? One day, a copy of a sealed letter arrived at my family's home from the Great British Empire. The sender's name wasn't indicated. We figured it must have been one of my dad's English acquaintances, so we opened it. The things written in that letter completely changed my life. What did it say? That letter declared my dad a serial killer and cursed the entire Asogi family. What? That letter revealed everything to me. The letter from England. That letter was likely written by a family member of one of the serial killer's victims. It's equally likely that family member was also involved in the justice system and was in the gallery for that trial. That letter informed us that my dad had been executed as a serial killer. Oh my god. Of course, the English government probably silenced them, but it's only natural that there would be those who'd be unable to control their emotions after learning the truth at that secret trial. But there's no way to know from just that letter whether that was true or not. The letter also contained a clipping of a newspaper article. That's how I first learned about the existence of the professor. What did my dad say about that letter? I couldn't bring myself to show it to him. Huh? Why not? Professor Mikotoba had gone to the trouble of hiding the truth and informed me that my dad had died due to an illness. He did it out of genuine consideration for me. That's why I'd showed that letter instead to Judge Jigoku. To Judge Jigoku? He looked at the letter for a moment, then laughed it off. But I noticed that moment's hesitation. I noticed the fear and obvious shaken expression on his face. My mom collapsed from a severe anxiety-related illness and passed away a year later. Why? And that's when I decided that someday, without fail, I'd make the crossing to the Great British Empire and confirm the facts with my own eyes. Great! Asogi is an orphan. Good. More orphans. We need more orphans in Ace Attorney. I uncovered the truth of what happened to my dad, Asogi Genshin, without anyone else's help. You can't see it, but I'm face palming my hands and face this child. Asogi. No. You can't just declare that. This never works in any fiction when you work for yourself. It never works, ever. Also, I'm pretty sure the anxiety-related illness is his mother in grief about what happened to, her husband. Very sure. Very sure. Also, my dog is attacking me now. Stop. Back inside the room to do that. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that right now. Dear Asogi, I want to hug you, but I also want to slap your face. What? In what world did you think this would be a good idea? Kazuma-sama. Okay, trying the Grim Reaper. The circumstances surrounding the murder certainly changed drastically during today's trial. Your work was truly spectacular. Naruhodo Ryunosuke. Lord Baroque Van Zieks wasn't the Grim Reaper. As much as I don't want to believe it, it was actually the victim, Detective Gregson. It's obvious that that detective was acting as the Grim Reaper. Huh? Did he know that already? The problem is who the detective was taking his orders from. That's what it all comes down to. Baroque Van Zieks is the Grim Reaper. At the very least, I know that. 10 years ago, he insisted that my dad was a murderer and made sure that he went to the gallows. But it was the law that sentenced him, not Lord Van Zieks. People are sentenced by other people. The law is nothing more than a guide to doing so. Those who try others are responsible for the verdict. That's a necessary resolve they must possess. And I know my dad wasn't a serial killer. Sogi. The one who took my dad's life was the Grim Reaper. You know, I kind of want to go back and change dad for father because that sounds better in my head. I'm not sure. Asogi, this is your armband. No, that belongs to you now. Huh? You have talent as a defense attorney. I thought so for a long time now. You chose that path for yourself, and have walked along it, unwavering. As your friend, nothing makes me happier or prouder than that. Asogi. That's for you to wear. Besides, I'm a prosecutor now. I can't be seen wearing that. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, Asogi. This part of the case really surprised me. This red-headed league. My heart, man. Bless these two. I'm less interested in that criminal scheme, and more surprised that redheads from all over London actually turned up for that. And one of them was London's prided great detective. Well, I'm sure those two are reflecting on their wrongs in a cell right about now. I feel like I remember them saying they'd be planning their next crime in the dark, though. The Lord's chalices and Lord's bottles are arranged beautifully here. That's part of that Baroque Van Ziek. That's the part that Baroque Van Zieks is the fussiest over. He seems to have detailed rules about everything from the care of the barrels to the bottling process. You must have had it rough, being the apprentice for someone like that. Actually, it wasn't at all. Huh? After all, he was so picky about it that he ended up taking care of everything himself. Hey jury, I found that pose! Thanks to that, things were pretty easy for me. What a weird relationship. That's Lord Baroque Van Ziek's desk. Everything about it is highly elegant. Oh, he's doing it more! Speaking of high, it was too tall for me. Oh no! It's too tall for Asogi! Oh no! Japanese people are too short. Even though Asogi's kind of tall for a Japanese person. Oh, you're used to sitting Setsu style, aren't you? The first time I saw you there, I thought you were being punished. That's the most soothing way for me. I can't handle it. My legs fall asleep after just 2 minutes. That's pathetic. No one lasts just 2 minutes, Naruhodo. Okay, Asogi, but you're just not human. Do you know about the man in this portrait? Of course I don't. Huh? But you're his apprentice, right? Being his apprentice doesn't mean we're friends. I'd lost my memory, remember? I hardly even noticed that painting. I see. It's pretty huge, though. No matter what sort of paintings that man chooses to hang in his office, I don't particularly care. What am I? Okay. It's a reproduction of this case crime scene. Yeah, I knew that, but does he make these ultra precise things every time? Apparently. Some things become clearer in the process of making a reproduction. Incidentally, I made this bulletin board. I wonder if he enjoyed doing this a little. arts and crafts with Asogi. I have many feelings whenever these two are talking. I'm sorry. They're just great. Bats. I know, right? Like, what the? God damn it, Meowsy! Bats, huh? Very fitting for him. Come to think of it, I think Lord Vortex has doves flying around his office. Does one need to love birds in order to fit in among the members of this country's legal system? Well, bats aren't birds, though. Hey, Asogi, how about some swallows for you? What for? What? Oh, nothing. What is going on? I just forever want to be in this room and constantly have these two talking, because this is too good. This wall is covered in years' worth of barrels, as usual. I wonder if he calls them his Lord's barrels. His Lord's barrels?! They're all arranged by region, year, and flavor profile. But about once a week, he removes all the barrels from the shelf and rearranges them. Huh? Why would he go to such trouble? Apparently, he can't find his ideal arrangement, whether by region, year, or flavor profile. It seems that none of the arrangements satisfy him. That must have been rough on you as an apprentice. Actually, it wasn't. Huh? He'd say he couldn't bring himself to entrust his precious barrels to anyone else, and would rearrange them all himself. What the heck? What the? What the heck is just? What the heck, indeed? Oh my god. Make sure I have the right one. Come to think of it, I couldn't help wondering about this during the trial today. Yet this autopsy report doesn't have an estimated time of death recorded on it. During today's trial, you shouted out quite a shocking possibility. That the victim was in fact killed the day before, and in a different location. The unwound watch, the powder burns on the candle. When you consider the evidence and the state of the crime scene, I think it's possible. To be honest, I wondered about it as well. That's why I made a trip to the forensic pathology lab a little while ago. But the coroner in charge was out, and I couldn't meet her. Her name is Dr. Goulon. Goulon? Goulon? Question mark? I don't think that's actually her Japanese name, and I think that's the new name that I was given, but let me look. Oh no, it's still, okay, that's still her Japanese name. So she didn't change her name, so it's Goulon. I will try to pronounce it to the best of my ability. If you wouldn't mind, Kazuma-sama, we'd like to hear what the coroner has to say as well. Oops. Naturally, you're welcome to ask her. I don't intend to hide any of the facts of this case from you. The Yard's forensic pathology lab is located between Lowgate Cemetery. Lowgate? That's where Barclay Prison is. Did you know? That's the prison where the life of my dad, Genshin, was taken. Kazuma-sama. Thanks. We'll go check it out later. Naruhodo. There's something I need to thank you for. What's that? This. You protected the spirit of the Asogi family for me. That's a famous sword that's been handed down through your family, right? I'm glad that I was able to return it to you. I never once drew it myself, though. The famous sword Karma. It's said to have been made by a famous blacksmith during the Sengoku period. The Asogi clan is a long-standing martial arts family, especially famous for its sword skills. I guess that explains why your stance is so flawless. The symbol of the Asogi clan is this sword, Karma. I hear that one of my dad's apprentices took its name as their surname. Karma, huh? Sounds pretty formidable. When my dad arrived in London 16 years ago to study abroad, he always wore this sword on his belt. That's why I'm so glad that I can wear it on my own belt now. It's all thanks to you, Naruhodo. Asogi. I can't do this. Well, I was doing a lot better that time. I didn't interrupt at any point. You must have preparations for tomorrow to attend to. Maybe we spent too long talking. Asogi, you've changed. I haven't changed. The one who has changed is you, Naruhodo. I can of course understand why you hate Lord Van Zieks. But as far as this case goes, are you going to say it has no bearing on it? How can you be so sure? Huh? Well, whatever. That man is the Grim Reaper. That's why the detective was killed. I'm going to prove that. By any means necessary. I can't allow that, Asogi. You go ahead and try. It goes without saying, but I'm not going to pull any punches tomorrow. Yeah, I know. In that case, I'll see you tomorrow, in the Supreme Court. Oh! Oh! Ah! Oh my god. I think I'll stop there for today, actually. Yes, we just found out where Varn Karma